Hello, that was a little exciting. Let me try that one again. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to RogueTech, where our pilots have been deciding to eject. We've had two of them eject for, in my opinion, not particularly great reasons. I mean, they probably think they have good reasons for doing it, but we're going to get in behind this chameleon, and we have a very good chance of killing it.
Acknowledged.
Ooh, we missed the kick. That was bad.
Negative damage.
Okay, we killed the small laser there. That was nowhere near as much damage as I was hoping for. If we had hit that melee attack, I think we would have done a lot more.
Commander?
That was unfortunate, to be sure. We're going to move the Panther up over here. The only thing it can do is start working on these buildings, and that is something I'm willing to start working on. We apparently missed that building. Okay. Our Blackjack can step forward up here. I want to continue being in optimal range for our medium rifles on this Blackjack. We're going to go in this torso here. If we can hit, which we apparently can't. Okay. So we basically at this point have two functional mechs. Oh, okay. Yeah, the chameleon can definitely do that. I would prefer that. That's completely fine. The Blackjack is now going to fire on our Blackjack. It did some damage there, to be sure. And there go those missiles, which they still have.
Light damage. Holding firm.
And they're firing on the Hunchy with their light turret. That's fine. I do wish that our pilots had let me make the ejection decision. I mean, they are avoiding some damage, I suppose. The chameleon just got to move twice in a row. How rude. Okay. Can our Hunchy get up to any location that is vaguely useful? The answer is actually yes, it is already in one. We're going to position like this, and we're going to vigilance the Hunchy to prevent any additional damage. And we're just going to attack this chameleon's rear arc, which we already softened up.
Locked on rear armor.
That was not an ideal damage spread.
Taking some heavy damage.
He has 22 HP left in that rear armor.
Yes, Commander.
Or in that rear torso. Okay, can we get in behind this guy? We could potentially jump. Yeah, we can jump over here. This is fine. We're going to jump in. I'd love to vigilance our Blackjack to deal with its stability. Unfortunately, that's not an option. We're just going to go for the kill on this chameleon. The chameleon is dead. That's what we really needed there. This Blackjack is the only remaining mech. Now, our Panther is going to actually move up over here. This is a very long range for the medium lasers. I'm hoping it doesn't find its way into this torso. It probably will. Okay. There's some damage there. The Blackjack moves up, fires on that Panther, and it did find its way in there. Okay. SRM ammo, that's not the biggest deal. They're focusing that Panther hard. Okay. That's fine.
Losing lots of armor.
This would be a lot easier if our Vulcan hadn't have ejected. That really made a lot go wrong. We're going to disengage our Panther at this time. No point in risking it.
Aye, aye.
The Hunchy is going to come up here and deal with this light laser turret. Should have no problem taking this out. I think this is a kill. Not with those two lasers missing, actually.
Got past the armor.
Yeah, I would have preferred that you had actually hit with some things, so. Okay, we're going to jump the Blackjack to the other side of this hill so that it stops taking all that fire. We're also going to vigilance it to get rid of its stability issues. And then we're going to fire on this light laser turret and hope to take it out. Very close. But it's not quite dead. It fired on the Hunchy and missed, so that's okay. They've still got missiles. I'm a little surprised. This is round 12. They've got to run out eventually on Calliope missiles. The question is, when? We're going to close in a little bit with the Blackjack here. The Blackjack is almost out of ammunition. I'm going to fire just the single medium rifle here, if we hit this, which we have good odds to do, it will kill it.
Knowledge.
There we go. No point in wasting the extra ammo since we're basically out.
Standing by.
Okay, the Panther is going to reserve.
All right.
And again,
Standing here.
we'll see what the Blackjack does. Position's there. That's fine. I'm not concerned.
Armor holding.
Yes.
I'm here.
The Hunchy is going to make its way up this hill. It can't quite make it into the cover, which I'm a little bit sad about.
Understood.
But we do have halfway decent hit odds on this Blackjack, and it is exposing its weaponed side to us. So if we can take out this arm, it's actually only got a little bit of weapons left.
Roger.
Didn't breach that armor.
Commander.
We could move in the Panther. I'm actually just going to brace it,
Roger
though.
that. Digging in.
Okay, they're shooting at the Hunchy. That's fine.
Damage minimal. Standing by.
Okay, the Hunchy can move in here, and it will have much better hit odds. Well, not much better, but better hit odds, and it should take out that arm.
Here we go.
Excellent.
Scored a critical.
So what has that Blackjack got left? A medium laser? That's not very threatening. Okay.
Orders.
In that case, our Panther could now jump up to over here. This does put it in LOS of the Calliope. I'm going to hold off on that.
Waiting for orders.
We're going to bring the Blackjack up here. This is just out of ideal range. We could sprint up. That still puts us in really awkward hit odds, considering that we have 2 shots left. I think we're just going to jump in as a bit of a distraction. We could fire just this medium rifle, but I think we're going to brace instead.
I'm receiving you.
The Panther I want to reserve. They're continuing to pummel the Hunchy. It's in cover. That Calliope can only do so much more, but the Calliope has now moved. So, I'm going to jump the Panther here.
To that.
We're going to fire the PPC on the Blackjack,
Target acquired.
and that's actually a hit. -7 initiative next round. That is huge for us. Okay.
I'm
The
ready.
Blackjack is now going to fire both medium rifles on their Blackjack. This is the last round of medium rifles. That's a leg and torso destruction. That's a knockdown, and I think that's a pilot incapacitation. Yes. Okay. The Hunchy will now begin approaching the Calliope. This was way closer than it had any right to be. Okay.
Yes, Commander.
The Panther, what's its hit odds on that Calliope? 73%. Take it. It's a sensor impairment. They're firing on the Panther. Okay, we're good. Through some miracle. Actually, the miracle is called sensor impairment. We're going to close in. The Hunchy finishes the Calliope.
Firing.
So the only mechs that we actually lost were the ones where the pilots panicked and ejected. And we didn't really lose that much. The Blackjack is useless in dealing with these buildings, by the way.
Commander.
But we can now close in with the Panther. They have nothing to oppose us with.
Firing.
Excellent. So we can continue closing in over here and taking out these buildings. We only need to take out 3 buildings.
Standing by.
So the Hunchy is going to work on, let's see here, these are all medium military buildings. We're going to finish off this one.
Attacking from position.
There we go.
Done.
Blackjack can't do anything at all, and so we are going to not.
Orders.
But yeah, we didn't end up losing anything super valuable other than the 4 heat sinks and the case in this torso. Good thing we had a case in there.
Got it, Commander.
But yeah, The 4 heat sinks, that's going to hurt. We lost a flamer and a machine gun, I think.
I'm here.
But overall, not as bad as it could have been. We'll just need to take out a couple of buildings. And we'll call it good.
I'm ready. Affirmative.
2 buildings down.
Target destroyed. Aye, aye.
And we'll take this guy out too. But yeah, ultimately, the Vulcan ejecting... The Vulcan wasn't actually in danger of dying. It just lost an arm, and the pilot panicked. So ultimately, that ended up causing the Hunchback to get far more exposed than expected, which caused me to get a little bit more aggressive with the J. Edgar, which then also panicked and ejected, which made this more complicated than it had to be. So yeah, pilot discipline definitely made this more difficult than it had to be. I was prepared to lose the arm. I was not prepared to lose the entire Vulcan. Now, to be clear, we didn't lose it irreparably. It's going to be pretty easy to repair that. Yeah, I mean, this isn't as bad as it could have been. This Panther took more damage than it needed to because of the Vulcan ejection. We would have been able to clear things out with the use of the Ultra AC-5 much more quickly. Although, we were still able to pull it off. The question is, I want one of those chameleon parts. Chameleons are a good mech. I want this Gauss rifle too, for sure. Maybe this Flare AMS. Ultralight rotary rifle, perhaps? Ooh, an Ultra AC-5, though. That's even better than an ultralight rotary rifle. A case to replace the one we lost? A couple of XL engines. Hopefully we get those through the roulette. Hopefully we get some of those heat sinks, too. We need those. Stealth X armor. Or that's just specialist equipment. How much is that worth? 500k? We'll take that over the Flare AMS. Okay, what do we get here? A medium laser, okay. A machine gun, that's fine. Some small lasers. Some generic armor that we can get rid of. Fuel cell engine. Some FCS standards. We'll sell these two, but keep this one. Heavy industrial armor. I don't know that we'll need that. And some jump jets. Once again, this is like 7 missions in a row where we're getting nothing in heat sinks from our roulette. Did they make it so that heat sinks can't be rouletted? Or they're less likely to be? Because this is getting insane. I did not see anything like that in the patch notes. I don't know. It's a little on the odd side. Well, we're definitely going to have some repairs to do. The real question is, are we going to be able to deploy again this episode? And I'm thinking probably not. Our heat sinks are going to be interesting to replace, since we're just not getting them through salvage. Yeah, go ahead and do that, Yang, to repair the vehicle in particular, but we're going to have to manually repair several of these. The Raven is fine. The Vulcan will need to be manually repaired, and that's like half of it. The Panther will need to be manually repaired, and that's like the other half. The Assassin is in progress. The Blackjack, that was just armor. The Hunchback is doing fine as well. It didn't actually lose anything. So the Vulcan and the Panther are going to have to be what gets repaired manually here. So we'll just go ahead and repair all that. We did lose the Flamer. What's the tonnage on that? That's 1 ton. I wouldn't mind replacing that with, say, a medium pulse laser. That is 1 more ton. To be sure. Okay. We have 4.5 tons to work with here. We could put endosteel structure in. That would be expensive. And then max out this armor. We'll see how maxed it gets. Pretty close to maxed. Okay. This isn't the worst. Now, the Ultra AC-5, I kind of want to replace with something a little bit more in close. How much weight is an Ultra AC-5? That's 9 tons. Now, of course, we can't put in the Gauss rifle. That would be hilarious if we could, though. We could also put AMS flare on there. Bolt-on AMS. I guess we may as well. See how that ends up going. And then, as far as our cockpit goes, I think... What do we actually have here? We have a comm suite. Standard FCS, but otherwise that's all pretty much as is. That's fine. We have 0.8 more tons to work with here. We could... Do we have a half-ton ammo of machine guns? We do. We could do that. We don't... We should probably store those in this torso, though. That's where our case is. Or in our legs. Just spread it out a little bit. Yeah, that'll do. So we have 0.318 tons to work with. Dropping the ferrofibrous armor puts us 0.8 tons overweight. Dropping the endosteel structure puts us 1.6 tons overweight. We could drop that ferrofibrous armor and drop this half ton of machine gun ammo. Store this over on this side, perhaps. And then we could drop a little bit of armor, perhaps, in these legs. Something like that. That would work. Now, that's going to cost a lot, to be sure. We knew that was going to be the case, though. So for the Panther, I would like to take this opportunity to overhaul the Panther's weaponry if we can. Let's see, this is a Engine Core 145 on here. We did lose 4 heat sinks, and we need 1 external heatsink. I don't think... Yeah, we only have the double heatsink. We'd have to purchase a heatsink if we wanted to get this guy back online. They're so expensive. We'll do it, though. Just to get this guy back online. And I do kind of want to spread these heatsinks out a little bit more. Kind of like that. That'll do. So we have 8 tons to work with here. If we were to put ferrofibrous armor on this guy and max out our armor, we have 2 tons to work with. Now our SRM-4 is here. We could drop the case, remove the SRM-4, that gives us 5 tons to work with. I'd love to have an ER PPC, or an ER large laser. Might be better than this PPC. But I don't think we have either of those. There's no way we can fit, say, an LRM-20, although that would be hilarious. Tonnage-wise, we could fit it, but slot-wise, it ain't happening. We could put an AMS flare on there. I wouldn't mind finding a way to put another PPC on here, but we don't have the hard points for it. We could upgrade this to an SRM for Streak. Do we have Streak SRM ammo? No. No, we do not. Okay. In that case, it's pretty much SRM-4 or bust. So we put an SRM-4 there, and then we can put in, say, some generic SRM ammo in the legs to use up the rest of this weight. We still have an extra ton. We could drop the ferrofibrous armor, actually. That would be fine. 0.125 tons remain, but there's not really anything we can do about that. Not currently, anyway. I would like to change this around a fair amount, or perhaps even completely replace the Panther. But we'll do that for now. Okay, so our mechs are going to be in repairs for a while. That is for sure. If we do something like this, I actually want the Panther on the bottom. If we do something like this, this would probably be best. So we're going to have to hit this financial report. There's no doubt about that. So we'll tick forward 2 days, hit the financial report. There we go. Start of the Solaris season. No, pass. We are not prepared for a Solaris season, I think. Okay, so we're at 1.25 million. Improved power conduits are going to come in 11 days. We're still a long ways out from getting our third mech bay working. So that's a bit of a problem. Let's get our mech warriors back, for sure. Okay. We still have a lot of repairs ongoing, but let's get some mech warrior training done. Let's see, we could get this guy a point of tactics. He's in the Raven, so I think that's for the best.
I'm here. Waiting. What's up,
Lord Dacky could grab a point of tactics. It's not the most important for him.
Ready for orders.
Same for Synapse.
What do you need?
Okay. Let's continue ticking. Next thing, improved power conduits. The Hunchback is repaired, finally. That will give us an additional tech point. And then we're going to need to go for structural reinforcement before we can grab this third mech bay. And the third mech bay will be expensive, so we'll need to save up for that. Let's grab structural reinforcement. And let's tick forward just a little bit here. Okay, the Raven is going to be done in 4 days, but we have, at this point, sufficient mechs, not counting the Javelin, to deploy. So I think that's great. It is, however, a little late in this episode to get into that, so I think I'm going to put a cut in here. The last episode was a bit of a long one. Actually, you know what? Let's figure out what we're going to do first. And we can get, like, the loading done and be ready to jump straight into it next episode. The loading would happen in between episodes. So that seems fine. This is a Davian battle with pretty good pay and mediocre salvage. 130 some K for a single priority salvage. We may want to actually just go like this. It'd be terrible salvage. You know what? Let's go one priority salvage. We'll go like that. This is primarily looking for cash. Now, our assassin pilot is, of course, Aryamaki, so we'll put him in there. And otherwise, these are all ready to go. Excellent. But I'm going to put a cut in here, and we'll do the briefing and the actual mission next episode. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and I'll see you all next time.